What is going on, everybody? Goatr the Goalie here, and we got a special video for you today. We're testing out the Bauer GSX. It's the low-end pad on the senior spectrum, and I had a chance to take it out for a little skate just on this weekend here to drop in. To kind of, I ended up buying them because I wanted to try Bauer for the first time, and I wanted to give these pads a go. So, first things first, they come in at around 600 bucks, 630 with taxes. What a save on that, though. He tried to freaking do the Kucherov on me. No, sir. So they're not super pricey by any means, and they're a great pad. I'll start off by saying that I strapped them on, and I picked up a pair of 2X Pro gloves just so I was all Bauer. And I gotta say, it took longer to adjust to the gloves than it did the pads themselves. The pads feel great. And you can see on there, I was able to outstretch that leg just to get the toe on it. The other thing on these pads is the seal. It's just ridiculous. Coming from a CCM eFlex 4s, there's a little bit of a gap on the pad when you're playing, and it's not ideal, but obviously it fits more to your pad, more movement, Braden Holtby style. But I was blown away with this, as I don't make a 5-hole save. It is what it is. This drop-in had like guys from junior. I don't know what they're doing at a drop-in on a weekend, but regardless. But the pads just felt amazing. The seal blew me away. Coming from CCMs, not expecting something this good. The stability, or the butterfly assist I should say, there's a little pad in the middle. It just helps your leg sit more flat. You can kind of see on the post coverage here, my leg's up a little bit, but the pad still seals flat on the ice, and I love that about these pads. What a save! Oh, what a save! Let's watch that again just one more time. Tried to come in forehand, backhand, back to forehand, and I got a little blocker, Aiden Heel style. On the blocker felt good too, but the glove's still getting used to. Look at that seal. Oh, robbed him clean. So the seal is just unbelievable, and people talked about that as Bauer. That's kind of their thing, and coming from CCM, I didn't know what to expect. But so far, one skate in, I'm blown away. The next thing we'll talk about is the pad strapping. There's only 3 straps on this pad. There's kind of an inner, not CRS style strap, but you can adjust the tightness and just pull it up across and tighten it. And then there's one on the outer, and then of course one for the knee where you can go straight across or kind of down, which is what I do here. You can kind of see the strapping setup as they hit the GoPro. Nice. And stiffness wise, obviously it's not the super stiff pads like some of the higher end Bauer stuff, but these rebounds were just being kicked out. And again, coming from CCMs where it's a very soft pad, that blew me away as well. I'm not used to that. And the other thing is sliding. Oh my gosh, you'll see a few plays here where I slide, and it's my bad. I got to work on stopping, but I slide too far across and then can't get back in time for the shot. Pardon me, it's early. And it's just because the pad slides so well. On one push, I can get straight across my crease to the opposite post, and I love that. It's going to take some getting used to, so if you're coming from an older, softer pad, as I get dangled, you might want to take some time to adjust to these pads because they do slide so well. Right here is a perfect example. I slid too far, couldn't get back, and he just sniped the top shelf, which is good. Good sliding pads is awesome for those cross crease plays, but you really got to get used to stopping more firmly, I would say. Mobility wise, pads felt great. Again, blown away compared to my CCMs, just how well these fit to my leg, and didn't really feel like I was wearing pads at some points. They're so light, I think 4.4 pounds, so pretty good. Overall, let's get to the rating system. So stiffness, I'll give it an 8 for stiffness. The feel, I'll give another 8 because they feel phenomenal. And for the seal on the ice, I got to give it a 9. I was blown away. No pucks squeaked under the pad, except squeaking through my blocker side. So if you're a beer leaguer, okay, like me, you don't want to spend $1,000 on pads, and you're just looking to get into Bauer, or maybe you want to see how you feel about them, I highly recommend these pads. I know on Reddit, I was doing some forums, and I'm sure you are too, looking at this pad, and people say, oh, it's lower line pad, it's not great. But initial impressions, even though it is the lower senior end pad, it still feels great and is a great introduction to the Bauer line. Just get this pad, feel it out, and then later down the line, maybe get something super expensive Bauer-wise, like a Hyperlite or a Hyperlite 2. I might do that depending on how things go, but if you're just looking for a baseline pad, Bauer, Highly recommend the GSX. So we'll see you next week. Got a couple games in these pads. I'll have those posted up on the channel. Leave a like and subscribe while you're here too. It really helps. And I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Leave a comment. Let me know what pad setup you're running right now. See you next time. Later, Gators.